sure, these are lower level enemies you're fighting, so why do they look as all this so powerful? It's because it's seen through the eyes of Cheer now. So yeah, and that breakout game that never really happened, and
we don't talk about that game.
Yes.
was great.
So 143 characters because Zoom likes making new characters. It's what he does. The series just keeps growing, and he has basically more outlets for the random crap he reads to put in there.
And characters is in quotes. There's exactly one humanoid male that's been actually seen in any capacity. And among other characters, there's one orb that turns into a girl, that turns into a guy throughout the progression of the fight. There's a tree that counts as a character. There's a sake insects. There's a really fat snake. There are people that don't even show up. Like Bishamon Ten is counted as a character in Touhou. There's what else? What other crazy things? There's the giant catfish and the Chinese god that. Flying turtle. Yep. There's flying turtle. No, actually, Yonta is actually not counted as a character for the rest of it. And like you mentioned earlier, there's one member of Team Shanghai Alice, that would be Zoom, responsible for the fantastic gameplay, the fantastic music, the not so fantastic art.
Alright, he's a genius, just like you.
So of those 19 games, 17 of them, that's Reimu Hakane, the main character of the series, she's appeared in 17 of those 19 games. And as a Great Fairy Awards, that brought Marisa Kirisame, the second main character of the series, into a tie with Reimu after being behind. Since the first game, Marisa didn't appear in the very first game, that was only Reimu, and Marisa only started appearing in the second game. There's exactly one game in which neither Reimu nor Marisa appeared, and it was the game that starred the real main character of the series. That would be... Hello. Alright, this fandom is completely psychotic. For those of you who are new to the series, this fandom is completely psychotic. Alright, there's a festival every year called Reitai Sai, annual Touhou dedicated convention. It has had upward of 500,000 people attend it, I think, back in 2010, because this year kind of got disrupted by the earthquakes and tsunamis and stuff. So they didn't get as much attendance this year, as far as I know.
They just canceled that.
Yeah. Well, I thought they had it again, or was it entirely air?
They had air Reitai Sai.
And then, well, I thought they were scheduling it as well.
I don't remember.
They did.
Yeah. Alright. They're, at Comic-Con 80, Comic-Con is the biannual, or semi-annual, technically. There's two of them a year. I don't remember which one that means. You want to talk about it because you're better at describing Comic-Con than I am.
Yeah, basically Comic-Con is, imagine the artist's alley plus the dealer's room on a massive size. There are 49,000 applicants to basically come in and sell independent works, music, comics, books, games, whatever, at Comic-Con. And they end up having about 35,000 show up. So it's basically, and there's an industry portion too, but a lot of what most people kind of focus on, at least in the Western world, is the independent doujin sellers at Comic-Con. So that's only day 3, which is actually kind of impressive. But yeah, so of those, Touhou is about 6%.
So it was 5.73, and I'm a huge Amani fan, even though I played the game, so I got to leave it like that. And the next closest was Hitalia, which was less than half of that.
Yeah.
So Touhou is by far the biggest. And there's currently 3 men on this panel cross-dressing. That's how you can tell this fan base is completely psychotic, because we were going to get up in skirts for you.
I mean, really, the only reason why I'm on this panel is for
to make you
female president.
Alright. Pixiv. Who here does not know what Pixiv is? Alright. Pixiv is essentially the Japanese DeviantArt. And it has a tagging system where you can browse by series, by character, by creation type. Like there's,
whatever you want.
Basically whatever you want. So I decided, I think last year about this time, we would go searching for various Pixiv tag counts, how many images were tagged, given tags for popular series, like Pokemon. There's right now on Pixiv, I think as of yesterday, about 24 hours ago, there were approximately 235,000 images on Pixiv tagged with Pokemon. And I thought, what else is popular? Vocaloid. It's about 250,000 images tagged with one of the 50 Hojillion Vocaloid tags there are on Pixiv, because Pixiv is stupid about Vocaloid tags. And I thought, what else is there? Those two are pretty big. Well, there's Italia. of course. And I think Italia premiered last year in this place, isn't it? Something like that. 345,000 images tagged with Italia. And so those three, Pokemon, Vocaloid, Italia combined, assuming my head yesterday was correct, was 87,000, or 870,000, sorry. Math is very hard. Yeah. Series. Alright, so Touhou alone finally broke the 1 million mark. Completely psychotic.
Even the thing is, even Japan knows that Touhou is better than Italia.
And then there's also the site Danburu, which is basically an American image website.
It's Galboro.
And then, so there's in the copyright category, which is essentially the franchise category, there's 207,000 images tagged in Touhou, which is the most in the copyright category. The second place is 70,000 with original characters. And then after that, Vocaloid was third with 36,000. And surprisingly, considering how new it is, Madoka is fourth in this category. So you're not coming anywhere close to Touhou, you did well to get to fourth place. Alright. Mountain of Faith, in particular, which we're going to be showing off in a few minutes, by the way, marked the advent of probably one of the most important characters to the series and in its memory. It's the second most important character in Mountain of Faith. Ended up being one Sanai Kochiya, who including Mountain of Faith, 10 Desires, has appeared in 6 games since then. I was thinking, I wonder who else has appeared since Mountain of Faith. Name has appeared in 7 games since Mountain of Faith. Marisa has actually appeared in all 8, and yes, there have been 8 games between Touhou 10 and Touhou 13. Japanese math. like Gary said, math is hard. Math is hard. And of course, the real main character of the series, 4.5 appearances, depending on how you want to count Subterranean Animism, because she was in it, but she wasn't in it, so. Now, sadly, Sakuya, for those of you Sakuya fans, Sakuya Hisuyoi, who was a major character at the beginning of the Windows series, for those of you who knew. She's a maid, she has a very short skirt, she throws knives, she stops time. She became immensely popular immediately for all of these reasons. But she has only appeared twice since Mountain of Faith. Notice that her swordly counterpart, Yomoko Paku, has actually appeared 3 times. And the Sakuya fans, Yomo's appeared more than Sakuya since Mountain of Faith, unfortunately. And why did that one stop?
And Kogasa has appeared.
Yes, Sakuya fans, sorry, even Kogasa has appeared more than Sakuya since Mountain of Faith.
Surprise, surprise.
Alright, let's have a little fun to end Touhou by numbers. Why don't you guess along? I'll give you a number, I want to see if you guys can figure out. Why is 5 significance in the Touhou fandom?
Is it patchouli?
Here we go. Number of magic stones, and don't forget it.
The magic stones.
Alright, this one should be really easy. Why is this number significant? That's right, it's the number of bronze tails. And this last one has been completely ruined. This has been going back and forth between me and someone else in the audience. I changed this at the last second, and it turned out to not work. So I'm going to pretend I rounded down. Most important number is 0 because it's the number of Mima cosplayers in this room right now. Well, we have half a Mima cosplayer because you have the upper half, and that's what is good. You can see the bottom half. Yeah. For all your factual news needs. Alright, well, for those of you who are new, okay, go up that way. The best way to know what Touhou is just see it in action. So we are going to demonstrate Touhou 10. Yes, you have to make faces. Now, those of you that have been to these panels before, they're Otakon out in Boston, they're around at the CatsCon, they've done a couple other places. Why is that?
It froze.
Math is hard. Math is hard for computers even.
Computer is hard. Oh, this happened yesterday too. We know how to fix it. Yes, control on the way.
Technology. Where'd tech guy go earlier? He fixed things magically.
Yes, he just waved his hand.
He came up and scared the crap out of left. Oh, good work.
Yeah.
Hey.
We swear this worked earlier.
What's this administrator?
What is one of our panels without a complete technology?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Run as administrator.
Oh, yeah.
Should we just play?
There they are. I think they say play fair reward. All function 4. Excuse me. Thanks. Try a different game.
I'll have a lot of fun. Please work. Nope. Take a wrench to it. Technology.
Display settings.
Friends don't let friends paddle with NVIDIA.